Hi guys, Steffi here and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm coming on to show you this that I've made, and I'm actually really pleased with this. I'd seen some posts, I don't know if it was on Facebook or somewhere like that, and someone had made a coffin shaped journal and I absolutely loved it, and I was like, I really want to try and do that. What started off as a journal I've now made into a TN. So you've got your signatures sewn in here. I did originally punch a hole to use some elastic to close it, but I didn't like it. It kept on slipping. It's all laminated, so I've just added this twine on here. Got this. I've used the Doodlebug Bouville paper. I'm actually using the last of my stash. I absolutely love this paper, and I'm good at that. I've been using it, but that's what it's there for. So I've got this gorgeous trick or treat one with the candy corns and all the different sweeties. I've got the candy corns here on the spine, and then just that there on the back. And then inside, I've just got that candy corn paper on here. And then these are the inserts. And I think it's turned out really well, actually, and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I haven't decorated these, but, you know, it's just for purposes. And then I've used that as well. So that is our TN. It just fastens up like that. Now this measures, I'll get my ruler, if I include the laminate border, it measures about 7 1/4 by, I'd say about 4 1/4 at the widest part. So I'm going to attempt to make one on camera with you as well. I just thought it was dead different and I just loved it. So the first thing that I'd done was I went on to Google and I just typed in coffin template, and there was a few came up. The one I've used, I'll show you the one that I've printed out. It was bigger, it was on A4, and it's actually this inner line here. And all I done was I just printed it out so it's like on a booklet, you know, when you can do that on your printer, to make it smaller, because I didn't want a full A size one. So I printed that out and I made a template. Now this one is the two together, because originally I was going to make a journal where they all sew in. But it's the same size as what we need, so I've just cut that out, and this is going to be our template, okay? This is going to be our template for the mats and also for the pages on the inside. So then what I've done with this one, this is just on paper, I measured 1/4 inch on all of the sides bar this one, and I just drew a line and I've cut that out because I'm using that as a template for my covers. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to show you, because I have prepped quite a bit, so I'm just bringing in a piece of paper to show you how I done it. So it's just an A4 piece of paper, and what I've done, I scored it at 5 and 6 just to give me an inch for the spine. And what I done was I just lined this up against that score line, and I made sure that that point stopped there. And then all I've literally done is I've just drawn around it with a pencil. Just to mark that, so then that's the shape that you've got. And you should be able to see that, yep. And then flip it over and do exactly the same on the opposite side, making sure that this point here matches to the end, and then you'll know it's in the same position. And then just draw around all of them. I have got a lot of this prep, so the cover is already done, it's already laminated, but this is just to show you how I got to where I got to. And then, oops, all you want to do is these two lines here across the spine, you just want to get your ruler and then just join them up at the top and the bottom. So that is what you're going to have. Sorry, my pencil lines are not. I'm just going to darken them up a little bit so you can see them a bit better. Okay, so that's the sort of shape that you want. Then what I went and done is I just cut round it. You can cut round it with scissors. I just used my craft knife and my ruler to do that. And then once you've done that, you'll be left with obviously this template shape. So with your pattern papers, you want to put this template onto your pattern papers. But as you can see on there, because I didn't add a 1/4 inch to this piece as well, now their mats look a little bit too big. So I've got a spare piece of paper here. This is just one from my Bouville collection. And all I'm going to do on one of the sides is just come in, where's my pencil, come in a 1/4 inch, just do a couple of lines just on one side. And I'll draw the line so you can see it. Press on it quite hard so you can see. So that all I've done is make that line here. And then you can use your craft knife or use your scissors, and you just want to cut that 1/4 inch strip off. And then just rub off any pencil marks that are still visible. Get rid of my mess. So when you come to lie these on your, just have to make sure I've done it worked out this side. Make sure you cut it on the right side, so if you lay it up and then find out which one it is that you need, then that will fit on there, look, just perfectly. So you wanted 4 different pieces of paper, 2 for the outside and 2 for the inside. The bit for the here, I'm just going to get the one I've already prepared. This needs to measure 5 1/8 by about 3/4 inch. So this is the one here that I've already pre-done, and this is my cover. I've used the Stampin' Up paper this time. I think it's called Monster Bash. Absolutely love it. So I knew I wanted to do this. So that, I've laminated it. I always laminate mine twice, and then after I've cut round it, either with your scissors or you could cut it with your craft knife and your ruler, I always run it through again. And then I've got this, like, it's like a Cluedo, isn't it? It's gorgeous. So then we're just going to fold on them score lines. Just make sure that it's going to fold in the right place. You don't need to burnish it or anything like that. And then that is what gives you our coffin shape. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch some holes. Now, you know me by now, I just eyeball them anyway. So I'm just going to use my crocodile. I'm using the 1/8 inch. And I always do the centre one first, especially when I'm eyeballing it. You just want to punch 3 holes. They're a bit cockeyed, but this is just for me anyway, so I'm not too bothered about it being a bit cockeyed. Just making sure I'm still in shot. Again, one in the middle. And then one there. And then one there. Okay, so that's the only holes that we need to punch in, is the top and bottom, and that is basically ready for our elastics. Actually what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll thread that, and then that's out of the way. I'm just going to use this gold elastic string. I get this from Tiger, and it's £1. You can get it in different colours, but this is the one that I've got to hand at the minute. So in one of the holes, you want to come in from the outside and thread it through, out of the top, and then you want to come back in through the middle, pull that down, and then go out the bottom of the middle, and then come back in that one, and then back out of the top. I'm just going to cut some of that off now. So then all you want to do, you've probably seen lots of people making TNs, you might have seen me making them as well. On this top one, you just want to come back in through the middle, and then the bottom one, again, bring that one back through that middle. And just keep it nice and tight, make sure that, you know, they're not too slack. And then all you want to do is just tie it in a knot. So you could fit 4 of the little booklets in here with this extra one that we've done here. And I would recommend using elastic because of the shape of the books. But obviously that's up to you. You could use twine, but I'd probably, if you're using twine, I would just do them individually, if that makes sense, rather than having them threaded the way that I've just threaded them. And then you cut that off, and then they're ready to put your inserts in. So now we're going to work on the inserts. I'll just pop that to one side a second. So for the inserts, I've used these books here. And now I got these from Amazon. And I saw them because I was watching Helen Griffin. And she used these on one of our traveller's notebooks that she'd made. I think you get 10 for $4.74 or something, which it wasn't bad. So what I done was I removed the cover. And then once I'd removed the cover, I brought my template back in. And I just, the point doesn't have to be at the bottom there if you don't want it to. You'll put it wherever, really. And again, like I did with the mats, I just drew around it. And then for that, I did use my craft knife to cut the pages. And that is what I'm left with. They're not massive pads. You get 1, 2, 3, I didn't get them apart, 4, 5, 6, I think it's 8 pages, so they're only 16 page booklets. Yeah, that one is too, I just can't, oh, there we go. 16 page booklets, but I just thought they were really nice, and they do look quite pretty in here as well. I mean, you could add more, you don't even have to use notebooks, you could just fold some paper over and do the same thing. So obviously I've just went round with my craft knife and my ruler, and then just done it like that to cut them. So I hope this is still making sense. Right, and then to make the inserts, again, I've went ahead and I've done 2 already. So these are 2 of the ones that I've already got. I've used this gorgeous newspaper print paper here, and then on the inside you've got all of the frames. On this one here, I have made a little bit of a mistake just before you will see it. And it's just there at the top, can you see? I haven't cut that quite right. I've cut off too much, but I don't think it makes any difference. You know, I've got that beautiful spiderweb paper on the inside there. So I've got 2 done already. So what I've done was, I believe, let's double check this size. The easiest way I found to do it was to cut a piece of paper at 8 inches. So whatever direction you want your paper to go, you want. So obviously I wanted them up and down like that. Make sure that that's the 8-inch side. And I think it's by 7.5. Yeah. So what I done was I just basically just lined that up and just gently pressed it. Didn't score it down massively. You know, just so it's a bit like that. And then I came in with my notebook. And I've got it here and I can pinch it. So then all I'm going to do is just press that down, making sure that's as far up to where it needs as possible. And then again, just come in with your pencil, keeping that paper pad in place right up to the middle, and then just draw around that side. And then close it again and just make sure you've got that tight there so it doesn't move. Flip it over, and then you just want to do the same on this side. Oh, that one's moved actually. That's better. It's alright, this bit's getting cut off anyway, and I can just get rid of any pencil lines. See, I knew because it went too far the side. But yeah, so you just draw around them like that. And then you've got, you kind of, oh yeah, you can see there. So then all I'm going to do for quickness, I'm just going to use my scissors. I did use my craft knife on the others. It doesn't really make a difference, to be honest. As long as you could put it in your trimmer, especially these long sides, and you could put it in your trimmer if you want it, if you're not very confident with scissors, or if you don't like using your craft knife. The only bit I would recommend using your scissors is for these points here. So I hope this is making sense to you all. I really do. And then you just want to, I don't know which one that was it this one? And just cut to that fold mark. And then just come in from this side. You're basically just cutting around your templates. And it is super easy. I mean, I love how it's turned out. I love this, not just for Halloween. You could do this in Gothic papers. You could do it in any type of papers, really. Saw some gorgeous papers on one of Rosa Kelly's tutorials, and I've been looking all over for it. It's a Recollections one, and I've found it, but they want like £20 postage, and I'm not prepared to pay that, which is a bit of a shame. I think I'll just have to keep on looking for it. It's quite grungy, quite dark. It's called Mystic Moon by Recollections, and it is beautiful. Honestly, such a nice paper pad, right up my street. Right, so then you've just got all of your bits out of the way, and then this is what you're left with. Again, just rub out any pencil lines. Once you know how to do this, and you know, you could do this to any size depending on what template you actually get that you use. So then hopefully that should, yeah, fit really, really nicely on there. So then now we have our 3 templates. So we've got that one with all of the characters on, we've got the newspaper print, and then we've got all of the potion bottles. So let's pop them in. I'm going to put this one at the back just because of my little mistake. And as you can see, that's probably why I recommend using elastic, because you do need to like twist them and stretch that elastic to get them in. And then I want to, don't want to use that one, I want to use the one without the knot. Like, I haven't made a fold or anything for these, because it took all my time working out how I wanted to do my measurements, to be fair. But I do really like it, and I really hope you guys do as well. It's such a quick and easy. I think this is going to be one of my quickest videos. Whoop! Oh. And so that last one's in there like that. And that is the basis of our, I mean, you can see there's still room there as well. So you could fit an extra book in there as well. I just haven't got one prepared to show you. Because you have got that extra elastic there where you could potentially, where you could put one in. So now to do the closure, I'm going to keep it the same as what I've done on this one. So what I've done is I've got 2 punches here. Excuse me. It's the 1 inch circle and the 3/4 of an inch. So I've already punched a 1 inch one, and then I'm going to punch, excuse me, I've got 1 here of me 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to punch a couple, wrong punch, because I wanted to give that depth for when the twine goes around. So I think I'll just punch 3, and then all I'm going to do, so I'm going to get me glue, and I'm just going to stack these 3 on top of each other. Just like that, and then I'm going to attach these to the 1 inch circle as well. And you don't have to use the same sizes that I'm using, and this is just what I had to hand in for quickness, to be honest. So then you want to get that as centered as possible, okay? And then you want to come in with your hole punch or a pokey tool, and you want to just line it up in the middle. You have to be careful because this isn't quite dry, and my crocodile will go through all of these layers quite easily. So then that is what we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a hole roughly where I want this, because what I was thinking as well, I fussy cut this out from the newspaper print, and I love that on there. It's just a shame I can't really have it like going over that to hide it. I kind of might have to come in quite. Sorry, I'm being indecisive, I know. No, we'll have that separate. So I'm going to glue that down up there, I think. And I'm going to have this here. So I'm just going to eyeball, again, get me punch. And see roughly where I'm putting that. And then I'm just going to come in and punch a hole. Okay, so I've just made that hole there. Next, I just need an eyelet. Let's see if I can find one in here. All different colours. I don't know what colour I want. Gold one would be really nice, but I don't think, honestly, I know there's a gold one there. We'll just use a gold one. And put them back in there without knocking them all over the floor. Sorry, this must be very painful for you to watch. I should have had this prepped, shouldn't I? Oh. So then, all I'm going to do, because I'm going to cover this eyelet anyway, I think, what we're going to do is we're just going to push that in. It hangs over the edge a little bit, but I think it'll be okay actually. Oh. And then you just want to get your eyelet setter and you just want to push that in and just give it a good squeeze. And then that is in there. Okay. So where is my twine? Where did I put my twine? My God. I had everything prepped and ready. I really did. Give us 1 second while I might have dropped it on the floor. I'm just going to pause the video, find my twine, and I'll be right back. Right, sorry about that. I can't find the one I want to use, so I'm going to use this one, and this one's a bit thicker. And this is actually some Christmas one I got a while ago. Now, normally, on the other one, I did attempt to put one in the back as well, but when I tied the twine round, it popped off. So I'm hoping that I can do this one in the same fashion as how I was doing the other one. So I'm just going to tie, I can't even tie a knot. Let's just cut a length off. So sorry guys. This one is quite thick. So I'm just going to tie that round. In a knot, and then just tie that knot quite tightly underneath there. I'm just going to do it in a single knot, I think, yep. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wind this round a couple of times, and then hopefully that goes. God, I'm not doing a very good job of this, am I? I haven't done a video in a little while. Maybe I just have to go around once just to make sure that this twine will wrap in. It's because it's really thick, this twine, and I think that's what's causing me problems. I just need to tighten them a bit more. Yeah, so tighten it so it goes into the middle. I don't know if you can see that. God, what a car crash. And then you can just wrap that round for your closure. I'm just going to cut that off like that, and they can just hang like that. So then, because I want to cover this bit here, I've just punched out a little bit of the designer series paper, and I'm just going to cover that eyelet just because I think I want something else. I don't just like just the black. Once my glue starts to work. This was one of my quickest videos, it's not no more. Eesh, my God. Like a little car crash, isn't it? Waiting to happen. So I'm just going to stick that in the centre there. And while I've got my glue out, I am going to use this. I love this image of Frankenstein and his bride. So I suppose I have to leave it to set for a little bit, and I'm just going to pop that on there like that. And then I also have, from the same suite from Stampin' Up, I got these, and these are the Monster Bash enamel shapes. And I'm just going to decide which one I want on. Do I want the skull and crossbones? Actually, no, I'm just going to use an enamel dot. So where's my pokey tool? I'm just going to use one of the large black ones. Yeah, we'll just stick that one in the centre there. And there we have my little car crash of a video. I'm really sorry, guys. But that is my coffin shaped TN. For all of those that stuck to the end, I do appreciate it. And honestly, everyone's support means so much to me. But there we have it. That is our coffin shaped TN. And I just think it's so cute and so cool as well. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it as well. And yeah, if any questions, please just email me. I'll leave my email in the description bar below. And thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye.